Not to the advantage of his teammates, though. Graham, Pete, now a chance. Opens up for the Saints. Gilbert into the path of Montagna. They've got men back. Rebold in the middle, calling for the football. Schneider, will he give it to Rebold? He will.
One last clearance, one last chance. It's going to be a draw. It's unbelievable. But it's happened.
I don't know if I've ever seen 44 guys go to war like we just did then. Guys come here for a win or a loss, and that's what we should be leaving with.
Will be decided this afternoon, one way or another. No impasse here, but lots of passion. Not to the advantage of his teammates, though. Graham, Pete, now a chance. Opens up for the Saints. Gilbert into the path of Montagna. They've got men back. Rebold in the middle, calling for the football. Schneider, will he give it to Rebold? He will. Rebold runs in. Touched up the boot.
I was sort of cruising back into 50, thinking, oh, it's going to be a goal, and as I got closer, I got a bit quicker because I thought I was a bit of a chance to stop it, and yeah, sort of the last sort of second dived across and got my hand on the ball.
Wonderful chase by Heath Shaw.
Yeah, it was an amazing effort with what Heath done, and you know, really so early in the game to swing the momentum off an act like that was unbelievable, and you know, clearly stands out in everyone's mind. That smother that Heath did, and he'll even tell you that it's the smother of the millennium.
That was as good a play as I've ever seen.
To be honest, I think when Schneider's kicked the ball over to Rui, I was almost sort of heading out and heading back to the centre circle.
They've got men back. Rebold in the middle, calling for the football. Schneider.
Caught my eye, I saw a teammate just charging towards the goals, and it was Heath.
Touched up the boot. Oh my goodness.
He's in your face. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's very audacious in everything that he attempts. So when I saw him sprinting into the goal square to what should have been an open Nick Rebold goal, most players would just give up. They would have just run at half pace and he would have kicked the goal. But Heath, given the person he is, he went at full speed. And I was just watching this unfold going, this can't be but I knew it was going to happen for some reason.
Schneider, will he give it to Rebold? He will. Rebold runs in. Touched up the boot. Oh my goodness.
They were a very hard team to score against, and just one of those things that, yeah, I guess you think you're going to get an easy goal running into an open goal, and then you sort of come from nowhere and I guess surprise Rui. And the thing with grand final day is that there might have been someone screaming at him to kick it, but it's so loud that you usually don't hear your teammates at all.
He came up behind him like a librarian. He never heard him.
From nowhere, Heath emerged. I still don't know where he come from, and perhaps the fault would be why wasn't he on his man, or where was Rebold's opponent? In this case, it would have been Nathan Brown, I think.
I ended up going down on the ground and sort of just sat there and ball watched for a little bit, and then I realised, where's Nick? Where's Nick gone? And funnily enough, he was right in the goal square with the ball, as a great runner Nick is, with the ball, and I just remember thinking to myself, this isn't good. This is very bad. And history shows, sure, he come from nowhere and stopped it.
Will he give it to Rebold? He will. Rebold runs in. Touched up the boot. Oh my goodness.
It's a massive team lifter for the Collingwood boys on the day, but also for the opposition. You see their heads drop a tiny bit because they, grand final day, you work so hard to get a score, and let alone an easy one from the goal square. And for Heath to do that sort of picked us up 10%, probably dropped them 5%.
Oh, what a moment lost for the Saints. And it was the captain.
And I can clearly remember when that happened, I thought, we've got this game won.
St Kilda were struggling to get the ball inside 50, let alone score. So the desperation there was definitely personified, through Heater in that action. But the group was switched on, and
definitely sent a message to St Kilda.
You can't sort of hold it against him if you're in his position, the captain of a club, and they're crying out for their first goal, and he finally gets one. He wanted to send it to the third tier, and he just took that too big a wind up and went to drill it through, and Heath just everything worked out perfectly, and he got there right to the split second on time.
I think the thing was Nick didn't have eyes in the back of his head.
Made Nick look fairly stupid, and the whole Collingwood crowd, I guess, laughed at him, and I think that may have played a little part in the way the game went from then on.
Yeah, it looked like a certain goal. Obviously, Nick had no idea that Heath Shaw was making that awesome effort to get back and laid the smother, and it was a little deflating at the time because I think we hadn't kicked the goal up until that stage and we're under the pump, so it would have just steadied the ship a little bit, but not to be.
Yeah, it was just an amazing moment, and I think from that moment I sort of thought, yeah, this is going to be our day.
It's probably the only part of the grand final that I've actually watched because I've seen it replayed so many times. But no, I don't usually bring it up that often.
He probably doesn't need anyone to come up to him and tap him on the backside to tell him how good that play was. He was letting everyone know, and to this day he still goes on about it as well.
After the final siren went, he was very quick to remind you, and that's all you heard about for the next 3 or 4 months.
I think he's been quoted as saying as the smother of the millennium or something like that, and he still talks about it, yeah. So
he made sure we all watched the footage several times, and at all the post-grand final media, he was making sure it was all about him.
At the time, I didn't really think a hell of a lot of it, but at quarter time, it was definitely mentioned to the whole group. And when I look back on it now, sort of remembered for that sort of incident in the grand final. Never thought I'd be remembered for doing a DI or a 1%er, that's for sure.
To see such an act of desperation come off like that, they really do. I guess he etched himself in grand final folklore.
I think Heath, tongue-in-cheek, said it was a smother of the century. It's probably the best smother ever. Really, it's the most noticeable smother ever. So, and it meant so much.
That was as good a play as I've